Welcome, 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 welcome. So, um, I'm basically making this video because I know the holiday is, right around the corner, basically tomorrow. A lot of people are, celebrating, meeting with family, some are not. So, I'm making the stream pretty much to follow up on the last stream that I made. And of course, if it's the first time, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. The last stream that I made, right? I saw there was a response. Somebody said this guy said Auschwitz, and I really want to characterize that for you and contextualize it, right? So in this modern day, most of what we know about um, Auschwitz and what happened there is from accounts of people, right, vastly older than this current generation, right? Most of these people have died out. So these stories were handed down. But just based on what we do know, put yourself in a position where you're in that situation, where you're in a concentration camp, right? Where you don't have any rights, you're being told what to do, you're being experimented on, you don't have a choice. It's basically comply or die. That's it. Right? Would you want to put yourself in that position? And that's basically the question that I'm posing, right? Because this is pretty much where it's going, right? It's like you're not being given the freedom that this country claims that you're supposed to have, right? Now, hear me and hear me well. This country is supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave, right? That's not what happened. It's obvious that's not what happened. Right? How many people have lost their jobs just because they said, no, I don't want this, right? And there's footage, if you look, there are people that have footage of actual physicians saying, listen, no, this is not right. There's even an army physician that was saying that 200,000 soldiers left because they didn't want to take it. You know what I mean? So saying that it's Auschwitz is actually putting it lightly because you might seem like, oh, it's a different time. But really think about it. Like, everybody's so preoccupied doing what they normally do. Like, guys on social media are still talking about, anime and sneakers, and there's girls on TikTok showing jiggly body parts and doing these challenges and what have you. And it's like everybody's just going about their business as if it's business as usual, but it's really not. It's really not. And from what I've seen, a lot of people are leaving the city. Quiet is kept, especially from Manhattan, Midtown. I worked for a hospital that actually canned me recently because I refused to go along with the program. But I know for a fact a lot of their patients actually moved and are in different parts of the country because they'd call in and say, hey, can you have my physician send this to somewhere in Florida, somewhere in Maryland, somewhere in Maine? I'm like, oh, okay. So, and that pretty much they're like, well, I don't know when I'm coming back because things are just too crazy out here. Like, the crime is on the rise, nothing has been done about it, right? You have all these draconian mandates and rules and regulations, and like, this is not what freedom is about. Like, think about how many wars this country has literally been in since its inception, so to speak, in 1776. Like, so many wars. You think all these people went to war and died for something that an ideal that's supposed to be freedom, and this is what it comes down to? I don't think so. All these guys that perish, they got to be turning in their graves right now, right? And you have to ask yourself, how did we get here? And I have a little clip that I want to play, and it's by, oh gosh, what's his name? I always forget his name. Um, the one of the guys is Jordan Peterson, who I absolutely love. He's a great guy. I like his philosophy and the fact that he's a psychology professor. He understands a lot that people take for granted, and they themselves they don't even try to comprehend. But it's with him and Joe Rogan. How could I forget? So I'm going to play a little clip of this, and I'm going to discuss it, and he will tell you exactly how we got here and how we are allowed ourselves to get here, which is in of itself just tragic. Play. Uh,
I just don't understand how it gets to the point where things get to terrible places one tiny step at a time. You know, if I encroach on you and I'm sophisticated about it, I'm going to encroach 2 millimeters. I'm going to encroach right to the point where you start to protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. Then you're going to calm down. Then I'm going to encroach again, right to the point where you protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. And I'm just going to do that forever. And before you know it, you're going to be back.
that's how we got here. Little by little, collectively, we allowed things that should never have been, right? Everything that has happened in the past has brought us where we are today. It might not seem like it, but people have basically given up their privacy in order to get where we are, right? You sign up for something online, they want your name, they want your address, they want your email, they want your phone number. It never used to be like that, right? Further down, now you want to sign up for something, they want your name, they want your address, they want your email, they want your phone number, they want your social, they want your bank card, right? Like if you're into crypto, you know that. Like if you go into some of these apps, like they want and they want a copy of your driver's license, right? Because this is what we've allowed. So now when they come on and they have these new apps, you know, you want to do business, like you want to invest, things like that. Like they have so many regulations in place. If you want to partake of it, now you have no choice but to give all this information or go with the ones of sort of less reputation, where it's like a roll of the dice and put your money in there. But then if something happens to it, it's like, well, you know, this is the one you chose, so womp womp. You know what I mean? But I could see a lot of people leave, for real. I myself am in that position right now. Like so many years ago, I wanted to move to Florida, and it didn't happen. It's not that it couldn't happen, it didn't happen because
3 miles from where you started, and you'll have done it one step at a time. And then you'll go, oh, how'd I get here?
oh, here's the rest of this clip. I almost forgot.
And before you know it, you're going to be back 3 miles from where you started, and you'll have done it one step at a time. And then you'll go, oh, how'd I get here? And the answer was, well, I pushed you a little farther than you should have gone, and you agreed. And so then I pushed you a little farther than you should have gone again, and you agreed. And if anybody's interested in this sort of process, and this is a horrifying book, if you want to read about how this process works, you can read a book called Ordinary Men by Robert Browning.
Okay, so I haven't read the book Ordinary Men, but I could imagine, I can actually picture it. And what he says is 100% correct. You know, pushed us a little bit. Like, okay, no. but you already went back a couple steps. Push you again, went back a couple steps, and put up a resistance. It's happening right now, right? Things were supposed to be going to the court system to um, basically repeal what happened with the mandates. Next thing you know, the courts are holding it up. They're like, no, yeah, no, yeah, and then people are hopeful, but this is where the system in general is going, and the more you give into it, the more you allow them to take, the more they will take. That's basically the message. As much as you're willing to give up at a time is as much as they're going to take. If you don't budge, they can't take anything. As he said, next thing you know, you look up and you're 3 miles away from where you started. And this is how it happens incrementally. So, what can I say? Depending on what state you live in, this might be the same situation. Other states are holding out, which is good. I think Florida is one of them. Texas. I've heard the representative for, excuse me, for North Carolina saying some pretty positive things, so that might be another one. But in general, it's not looking good because you have these people putting up these bills that they want to put into law, and it's like everybody's so distracted, nobody's paying attention. Like I said, there's the TikTokers, there's guys looking at girls' jiggly parts on TikTok and YouTube, and it's a mess. Everybody's distracted in their own little world, and it's like things are really falling apart, but nobody sees it. But hopefully, somebody within the sound of my voice will hear this message and get something from it. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Don't just let things happen and, go with it. Like I said, I got fired from my job because I refused, and I don't regret it because at the end of the day, to each his own. Everybody's an individual. You got to make your own choice. And if you go with the masses, then you'll fall with the masses. You stand. Obviously, there'll be people that stand with you, but it might be few. But hey, that's just how I go. That's just how I go. And I mean, you see what I look like. You know what people in this country been through that look like me. So I ain't even really gotta say too much on that. You know what I mean? No, I don't trust nobody. Nobody. I don't care if they look like me. As a matter of fact, I don't trust them. No. Not if you telling me, yeah, go do this because we said so. Not a chance. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, land of the free, home of the brave. You know, if you believe in that, you believe in the Constitution, that's what you stand on, then you gotta be like, nah, this is crazy. This is bullshit. Nah, y'all can't do this. You know what I mean? Like, for real. I can't. And that has to be your mindset. So, I guess we'll see how it goes. I hope everybody has a great holiday tomorrow. I don't celebrate Christmas. I mean, I understand why a lot of people do, but again, to each his own. You know what I mean? So, till next time, I mean, I might post tomorrow, although I have some things to work on, some shoes. So, we'll see. Depending on what time I get to bed tonight, because my mind is still racing. So, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you got something from it. Stay up, stay positive. Keep your goals in mind. And, I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.